When I was in confinement, I accidentally heard a conversation between my best friend and her husband. When are you going to kick her out? I feel so wrong that she sneaks around every day. Don't worry, the company is hers after all. When the children inherit the family property, all of this will be ours. I pretended not to know. Bring your daughter to your side and take good care of her. When she graduated from college, all his assets and companies were transferred to her name. At the shareholders' meeting, my best friend came to the crowd with my husband and the test tube information. Yaya is our child, thanks to you being our cheap mother for so many years. The daughter also threw out a support agreement and said sarcastically, "Pack your things and get out of our house right now. Since you've supported me for more than 20 years, I'll arrange a cleaning job for you." I smiled calmly, "Okay. Wife, there are some important matters waiting for you to deal with at the company, you should go back first." Lin Dong pulled me aside with a tired look on his face and whispered advice. I frowned slightly and said with concern, "Yaya is still in the hospital. How can I, as her mother, just leave her alone?" Lin Dong put his arm around my waist and helped me fix my hair in a soothing manner. "You have given so much to this family. When Yaya grows up, she will be proud to have a mother like you." I looked at him with a smile and said meaningfully, "Yaya is my child who was born through IVF after hundreds of injections. How can I not love her?" Lin Dong's smile froze for a second. "It is my great honor to marry such a good wife like you in this life." Looking at the affectionate look in his eyes, I smiled faintly and didn't say anything. Lin Dong and I are college classmates. From campus to wedding dress, 10 years of marriage and support each other. Over the years, I have been in charge of external affairs and he has been in charge of internal affairs. He has always been silently supporting me behind my back. After my daughter was born, she took on most of the responsibility of taking care of the child and never let me do any housework. If I hadn't accidentally overheard his conversation with his best friend during the confinement period, I could never have imagined that my husband, who was so obedient and doting on me, would actually betray me. Gu Xan, just go back to the company without any worries. I'm still here in the hospital. My best friend Zhou Yen came out wearing a hospital gown, holding onto the wall, with a pale face. Her daughter held her arm and followed behind her like a little tail. I quietly watched them being intimate. "You treat Yaya as well as my biological mother. You are willing to donate half of your liver to her for treatment. I really don't know how to thank you." Seeing that my eyes were on her, Zhou Yen shrank her shoulders visibly nervously. Lin Dong was the one who reacted quickly and immediately came to her rescue. "You two have been best friends for more than 10 years. Zhou Yen is as close to you as a sister, and she loves Yaya as well." Zhou Yen quickly let go of her daughter's hand and explained to me anxiously. Yes. Based on the relationship between us, of course I will treat Yaya as if she were my own child." Looking at the two of them trying to make up for it in a hurry, I couldn't help but think of the scene when Yaya was in the hospital. Zhou Yen said she came to accompany me, and when she arrived at the hospital, she followed Lin Dong around. When he heard that a liver transplant was needed, he was the first to express his willingness to donate his liver. The doctors in the department couldn't help but comfort her when they saw her being emotional. As a mother, you need to control your emotions first, otherwise the child will also be nervous. The panicked expressions on her and Lin Dong's faces at that time were exactly the same as they are now. I smiled and said calmly, "I've been too busy with the company in the past few years, and I'm grateful to have you, my good friend, to help me share the responsibility of being a mother." Hearing this, Zhou Yen and Lin Dong breathed a sigh of relief. My daughter also threw herself into my arms, blinking her big eyes and saying innocently, "Mom, you should go to the company soon, otherwise no one will make money for me." I touched her little face. "What about Yaya?" The daughter replied without hesitation. "It's enough for me to have my father and Aunt Zhou with me." Lin Dong was startled, grabbed his daughter's shoulders and pulled her into his arms, and explained with sweat dripping down his body. "Wife, the child can't talk, I just don't want you to delay your work." Zhou Yen also nervously covered her daughter's mouth. Although Yaya is young, she is very sensible. I simply nodded and followed my daughter's wishes. When she saw me get up and leave, my daughter immediately danced with joy and kept talking to Zhou Yan and Lin Dong. They looked like a happy family of 3. I smiled meaningfully and returned to the company to make important decisions. Since donating her liver to her daughter, Zhou Yan seemed to have a reasonable excuse and came to my house more and more often. In the past, she and Lin Dong would only date secretly when I was working overtime or on business trips. Now her daughter has acknowledged her as her godmother and visits her openly every now and then. Xin, I just bought some fresh chicken from the countryside and made soup for you and Yaya to nourish your bodies. Yaya said she wanted to go to the amusement park. We know you're busy with work and don't have time, so Ziming and I will take her there to have some fun. Since I had the surgery, my health has been getting worse. I want to quit my job and start a small business. Xin, can you help me? I knew Zhou Yan's purpose very well, but I still acquiesced to everything without making a sound. If she wants to be with the kids, I'll let her go. When she needed money, I gave her tens of thousands of yuan every month as nutritional allowance. Lin Dong and Zhou Yan seemed to think that I was a fool who could be deceived by them, and they became more and more bold at home. Once, he even had an affair in the bathroom right under my nose. I turned a blind eye to it, and only had some disagreements with Lin Dong on our daughter's education. Lin Dong is a student from a poor family. He has very high expectations for Yaya's academic performance and forces Yaya to study until late at night every day. I always speak up for Yaya at this time. Children from poor families need to rely on studying to change their fate, but my daughter doesn't need that. Lin Dong was so angry that his face turned red and his neck became thick. I failed my first year of high school, how am I going to get into college in the future? Yaya was so scared that she hid behind me and hugged me timidly. I smile indifferently. Yaya will take over the company in the future. What's the point of going to college? When the time comes, just buy her a diploma and let her work in the company for a few years before she takes over my job. With my support, Yaya also said boldly. That's right, Mom's money will be mine from now on, what's the point of me going to college? Lin Dong, who was originally furious, immediately relaxed when he heard this. Suppressing the joy, I asked tentatively. Wife, are you really planning to let Yaya take over the company in a few years? She is still young. How can we let her inherit such a huge family business? Zhou Yan was so excited that she and Lin Dong played the villain and the good cop respectively. You don't have to be old to do business. Yaya has been like her mother since she was young. She is smart and clever, and she is a good candidate for business. I think it's a good idea to let Yaya join the company to gain experience earlier. Seeing the excitement in their eyes, I smiled faintly. I only have one daughter like Yaya, and I will definitely not treat her badly. Let her relax for 2 more years while the child is still young. She won't have such an easy life in the future. Seeing my firm attitude, the 3 of them smiled knowingly. The corners of my mouth also rose slightly. The school picked up the wind and the slanted and bent the muscles and mouth and the smooth feeding of the real line. The better days are yet to come. Let's wait and see. Yaya completely lost interest in studying, and instead pestered me every day to ask about business matters. I didn't hide anything from her and often kept her by my side, teaching her in every detail. Took her to familiarize herself with all the company's business processes. We also arranged for senior employees to share their experience. As for the college entrance examination, she only scored 200 points. I spent a lot of money to send her to the elite class of a key university in the country, and bought her a large flat next to the school. After Yaya went to another city to study, Zhou Yan and Lin Dong often found various excuses to disappear for a few days every now and then. Especially Lin Dong. Yaya was in college for 4 years and he never touched me. A man's desire is like eating. If he doesn't eat when he gets home, it means he must have eaten too much outside. I naturally knew where he was eating to his heart's content, but I was too lazy to expose him. He did feel uneasy a few times, and pretended to test casually. After Yaya graduates from university, I don't know if she will be able to manage the company. Will those seniors bully her? I ignored the suspicious red marks on his neck and said calmly. Yaya will definitely be the chairman when she comes back. Why would she need to look at the faces of those old people? As I said that, in front of Lin Dong, I changed the legal names of several small companies under my name to Yaya. Lin Dong was overjoyed and hugged me excitedly and kissed me. Wife, I know you love our daughter the most. Soon, Yaya graduated from university. Zhou Yan got off the plane with Yaya, smiling happily. Lin Dong couldn't help himself and went forward in front of me. It was not until the three of them had expressed their longings that Yaya remembered that she had me as her mother. He walked up to her quickly, gave her a quick hug, and then asked anxiously. Mom, I graduated from college. Isn't it my turn to inherit the company? Seeing her impatient look, I smiled faintly. Today, please. The transfer agreement has been prepared. Mom will hand over the entire company to you today. Back at the company, all the senior executives had gathered in the conference room. Under the watchful eyes of everyone, I announced on the spot that I would hand over the entire company to my daughter Yaya. Under the witness of the gold medal lawyer and the camera, the transfer agreement was immediately signed and the handover was completed. At this moment, all the properties and companies under my name became Yaya's assets. Although the company's subordinates had some complaints, they couldn't help but sigh that Yaya was lucky. At a young age, he effortlessly acquired wealth that is unattainable for ordinary people. Just when everyone was talking about how much I loved my daughter, Zhou Yan took Lin Dong's arm and pushed the door open. Amid the puzzled and surprised gazes of the crowd, he distributed a thick copy of IVF information to everyone and said proudly in a loud voice. Gu Xian, Yaya is actually the daughter of Lin Dong and me. You have occupied my daughter for so many years, now it's time to return her to me. As soon as she finished speaking, the scene became lively. Are you kidding? Isn't the new chairman Mr. Gu's daughter? Boss Gu loves his daughter so much and gave her all his assets. Now he does this? How can this be a best friend? Even an enemy can't be so ruthless, right? It's obvious that they set up a trap just to steal Mr. Gu's property. These two people are so cruel. Seeing the voices of dissatisfaction rising one after another, Lin Dong slammed the table in dissatisfaction. Gu Xian, money can't buy love. Look at you, you don't act like a woman at all. You have the final say at home. I don't have any dignity as a man when I'm with you. Who would truly love a woman like you? He spoke with great confidence, as if I had forced this marriage upon him. I ignored his shouting and looked at my daughter Yaya with a half smile. What about you? Are you going to betray Mom too? Yaya sat proudly in the boss chair, looking me up and down. For the 20 years of raising me, I will call you Mom for the last time. It's a pity that money can't buy love or family affection. Just be free and let go. Don't affect the lives of our family of 3. It's good for both you and me. As she spoke, she slapped the labor contract that she had prepared long ago on the table. After all, I've called you Mom for so many years, and I don't want to make things too awkward. I'll arrange a job for you in the company as a toilet cleaner. The monthly salary is 2,000, which is enough for your living in your later years. Seeing her treat me like this, all the subordinates present were immediately outraged. You are such an ungrateful person. Ms. Gu is so good to you, and this is how you repay her? I just defrauded someone of hundreds of millions of dollars, and now he's turned his back on me. Still working as a cleaner, isn't this a clear humiliation to Mr. Gu? Faced with everyone's excited emotions, Lin Dong and Zhou Yan looked calm and confident of victory. After all, it has been planned for more than 20 years, and all possible situations have been rehearsed countless times. Amidst the excitement among the crowd, I remained calm. Okay, I'll fulfill your wish today. After saying that, I picked up the pen and quickly signed the divorce agreement in front of everyone's astonished gaze. Lin Dong and Zhou Yan didn't expect that I would agree to divorce so readily. They picked up the agreement cautiously and read it over and over again. Only after making sure that there were no mistakes did he look very smug. Seeing that they were in high spirits, I smiled. Since Yeye has carefully planned such a surprise for me, I will return the favor and add fuel to your fire. In front of the entire company and the lawyers, I took out an exquisite antique key. When Lin Dong and Yeye saw the key, their eyes suddenly lit up. I calmly handed the key to Yeye. When you were little, you always wanted the jewelry in the vault. I said I would give it to you when you grew up. Although you don't want to be my daughter now, the mother-daughter relationship we have had for so many years cannot be erased. You will always be my daughter, and I will not break my promise to you. Before I could finish my words, Yeye rushed over and snatched the key, holding it in her hand and playing with it excitedly. Zhou Yan and Lin Dong widened their eyes and looked at me in surprise. Everyone present was silent for a moment, and then a heated discussion broke out. Boss Gu, is he too shocked and mentally ill? All of our family property was swindled by this family of 3, and now we are even offering the remaining assets to them? I'm always really crazy looking after myself. Zhou Yan stared at me suspiciously and said viciously. Gu Xian, don't think you can make Yeye soften her heart by using the self-torture trick. Yeye and I are mother and daughter, blood is thicker than water, you are just a cheap babysitter. ALW Rabbit QJ Rabbit OM Story OFU X House 0 Pick up T this C. Text 3JX Do not YC Private BOCN Move F. You gave these things to Yeye willingly today, don't even think about getting them back. Lin Dong frowned and said in a cold tone. Gu Xian, I really didn't expect you to be so spineless. Divorcing you is the best decision I have ever made. Even Yeye turned hostile and left after getting the key, leaving only one sentence. These are the compensations I deserve for calling you mom for so many years. At her instruction, I was kicked out of the company by security guards. Someone secretly recorded the whole process and it quickly spread wildly on the internet. Countless netizens learned of my tragic experience and expressed their sympathy. No wonder they say you can't get mutton from a dog. Even if you've raised one for so many years, it will still turn its back on you. Boss Gu is too weak. He's been bullied to such an extent, yet he still wants to please others. If we are pushed to the limit, we will fight them to the death. Soon a reporter contacted me and wanted to interview me. Several well-known domestic law firms also invited me to represent me in the lawsuit and help me recover my property. But I rejected them all and returned home alone. As soon as I arrived outside the community, I was stopped by the security guard. All my stuff was piled up like trash outside the gate. The cleaning staff and security guards were rummaging through the items as if they were purchasing merchandise, picking up everything that could be used. All that was left were some old clothes torn into tatters. Seeing me coming, the security guard put his hands on his hips and said viciously, Mr. Gu has already told you that from now on you will be a stray dog outside. You are not allowed to enter the Gu family's gate again. Lin Dong was looking at me through an iron gate, cigarette in his mouth. The image of a gentle gentleman from the past is gone, and now his ugly face is revealed. He took out several hundred yuan in cash from his bag and threw it to the security guard. Watch out, don't let this bitch in. Yeye will be your boss from now on. Yeye was standing on the open-air terrace of my house. She just glanced at me and turned her head away in disgust. He turned around and drank tea with Zhou Yan affectionately. I didn't get angry and picked up documents like passports that no one wanted. Turn around and leave. I pawned all the valuables I had and rented a secluded little yard on the outskirts of the city. I planted some vegetables that I liked to eat and lived a leisurely life alone. Although I eat simple meals every day, my health is much better than before. But after less than a week of quiet life, Lin Dong and Zhou Yan came to the door with Yeye. I thought you were such a tough guy, but you ended up hiding in a place where no one is around. As soon as Zhou Yan came in, she trampled my carefully arranged vegetable patch into pieces. Lin Dong also followed up with a few kicks, with a look of disgust on his face. Gu Xian, you were once the richest woman. Even if you were poor and destitute, you wouldn't end up like this. You were able to make money in the first place probably because of my luck. Without me, you would be in this situation. I ignored them and just kept eating the stir-fried bok choy. Yaya came over to take a look and knocked over my plate. What the hell are you eating? There's not even a drop of oil in it. My dog eats better than you. How about you beg me, I will consider letting you be a guard dog at home. After saying this, the three of them burst into laughter. Seeing that I was indifferent, Zhou Yan couldn't help it. There will be a cooperation meeting with Jujia Group next month. If you are smart, give Yaya all the materials you prepared before. Otherwise, we can just move our fingers and make it impossible for you to survive in this city. Yaya didn't seem to care. Mom, I think you're just worrying too much. What Jujia Group values is our entire company, not this old woman. I heard that the group's CEO Zhao Ting is young and handsome, and he's not married yet. When the time comes, I can just use some tricks and catch him easily. Hearing this, Zhou Yan and Lin Dong's expressions relaxed a little. That's true. Our Yaya is so beautiful and has such a large fortune. They are a good match for the Zhao family. How could Zhao Ting not be tempted? In front of me, the three of them dreamed of a marriage between wealthy families. Although the company was handed over to Yaya, she usually spent her time eating, drinking, and having fun, and only had a superficial understanding of the company's business. Jujia Group is considered a newcomer in the industry, but thanks to the unique vision and extensive connections of its young president Zhao Ting, it has quickly become a leader in the industry. The intention of cooperation between our two companies was decided early on when I was there, and it can be said that this decision can influence the fate of the company in the next 10 years. Zhou Yan and Lin Dong were afraid that Yaya would mess up due to her lack of experience, so they came to see me. Seeing that I was not a threat at the moment, Zhou Yan raised her head proudly and sneered. A woman's whole life is for her children. Although we grew up together, it's a pity that we have different fates now. I have a husband who loves me, a promising daughter, and a fortune that I can't spend. And you? You'll be a poor, lonely old man for the rest of your life. Zhou Yan said as she hugged Lin Dong and Yu, extremely arrogant. Just wait and see our good days in the future. Look at this family laughing wildly in front of me. I kept a calm expression and chuckled barely audibly. Yeah, I'll wait and see. See how you will live your good days in the future. I think it's enough to be a layer of irony. The interview was held at a 5-star hotel owned by the company. In order to create public opinion, Yaya invited all the first-line media and prominent business people. The formal meeting between two well-known young presidents in the industry attracted a lot of attention due to the hype of some marketing media. There are also some small internet celebrities who take advantage of the popularity and sneak in among the staff to broadcast live secretly. The filter of handsome men and beautiful women quickly became a hot search today. Many people gathered in the live broadcast room and expressed their admiration for the luxurious and extravagant layout of the banquet. It's called an interview, but it's actually a blind date for a wealthy family. A talented man and a beautiful woman, a perfect match. Isn't this the real-life version of a novel about a wealthy family? This woman has such bad character, but she can still find a young, wealthy, and rich husband. It's really frustrating to compare yourself to others. This is fate. People are born rich. There's nothing we can do about it. Zhou Yan and Yaya were also happy to let this kind of public opinion ferment, and they secretly spent money to send a few more hot searches. To humiliate me. Zhou Yan specially sent someone to take me to the banquet and forced me to change into cleaning clothes and do the dirtiest and most tiring work. The live broadcast camera accidentally swept over me. The live broadcast room's bullet screen instantly boiled over. How could Mr. Gu, such a capable person, be bullied like this by this family? I gave all my wealth to others, and I don't even have a peaceful life anymore. In addition to the discussions in the barrage, the eyes of my former subordinates and business partners at the scene also focused on me. Zhou Yan and Yaya were very happy to see me in this miserable state, and they even ordered me around in front of the camera. It wasn't until Zhao Ting showed up at the venue that Yaya and Zhou Yan's eyes lit up and they no longer cared about me. Zhao Ting is tall and handsome. Every gesture and movement reveals a deep-rooted nobility. Yaya blushed when she saw him and walked towards him quickly. Mr. Zhao, have you reviewed the cooperation proposal we submitted? Zhao Ting had a stern expression on his face, and he distanced himself from Yaya without hiding his feelings. He said in a cold voice. Before cooperating, please repay the 3-year loan in one lump sum. Otherwise I will reconsider my cooperation intention. The smiles on Lin Dong, Zhou Yan and Yaya's faces suddenly froze. The three of them were surprised in unison. What loan? The company's financial director handed a loan contract to Yaya. Boss Lin, according to the contract, today is the final repayment date, and we have to repay the full 100 million yuan, including principal and interest. Upon hearing this, Yaya's expression instantly froze. He snatched the contract and wanted to read every word. Seeing the terms written in black and white, she widened her eyes in horror. Why didn't you say so earlier? Isn't the company's profitability good? Why does it owe so much money? The financial director spread his hands. Boss Lin, you didn't ask. I thought you should know about such an important decision. Seeing this, Lin Dong and Zhou Yan also panicked. Daughter, what's going on? Didn't you say the company makes a profit every year? Yaya's expression was stiff, and she said tremblingly. The loan contract is real. After saying that, she almost collapsed and grabbed the financial director. How much money is left in the account? Is it enough to pay back? Seeing her emotional breakdown, Lin Dong and Zhou Yan became extremely anxious. I smiled faintly in the crowd and swept the floor leisurely. All of the company's large assets have been mortgaged, and the current liquidity on the books is not enough to repay the loans. Sure enough, when they heard that the company couldn't pay back the money, the family's faces changed drastically. The lawyers led by Zhao Ting reminded. According to the agreement, if the loan is not repaid on time, we will apply to the court for compulsory execution. Not only will you go bankrupt and be liquidated, but you will also be restricted from high consumption. Zhou Yan started throwing a tantrum when she heard that. What do you mean? Is our Yaya going to become a deadbeat? She stared at me in the crowd and rushed towards me in 2 steps. Lin Dong also reacted, and the two of them dragged me up by force. Gu Xan borrowed the money, why should Yaya pay it back? Every wrong has its perpetrator, let Gu Xan pay it back. All the cameras at the scene turned to me, and the guests present couldn't help but talk about it. Isn't Mr. Gu's business very big? How come he owes so much money? No wonder you gave up the company so easily. It turns out you left behind a mess. It seems that there will be more bloody plots at today's banquet. Everyone's eyes were focused on me, eager to see a bloody drama involving a wealthy family. Before I could say anything, Zhou Yan slapped me in the face. I knew you had no good intentions. I dodged sideways and she stumbled and fell to the ground. Yaya and Lin Dong were immediately furious and helped Zhou Yan up and shouted. Where's the security guard? Hold down this debtor. Beat him to death. If you hurt him, it's my fault. As soon as she finished speaking, the hotel security quickly surrounded me. Just when they were about to attack me, Zhao Ting protected me behind him. He stopped her coldly. Who dares to touch our President Gu? There was silence for a few seconds. Yaya was the first to frown and pointed at me in confusion. What did you call her? Zhou Yan was also stunned. Did you make a mistake? Gu Xian is now a poor old woman, so poor that she has to grow her own vegetables. Lin Dong also echoed. There must be a misunderstanding here. This woman is no longer the president of the company. But she borrowed the money, so you should ask her for it. The people at the scene also had only a vague understanding. It seems that Zhao Ting doesn't know that Mr. Gu has been kicked out of the company. It looks like Gu Xian is going to be embarrassed again. Not only has she lost her family property, she also has so much debt. The comments in the live broadcast room were also boiling with excitement, with everyone saying that I was a fake rich man and had been pretending to be rich. However, Zhao Ting's next move was beyond everyone's expectations. He held me respectfully and said in a loud voice. Aunt, I can handle this kind of trivial matter. Why bother you to come in person? Everyone present was stunned for several seconds. Someone reacted quickly. Fuck, Mr. Gu is using a series of tricks. Leave the heavily indebted company to the ungrateful family, and then come back as the creditor. This is incredible. This family of 3 was schemed against by someone else. At this point, Lin Dong, Zhou Yan and Ye finally came to their senses. Lin Dong's face turned red with anger. Gu Xin. You are such a vicious woman. You gave the company to Ye on purpose, didn't you? Zhou Yan was also out of breath. You're still pretending to love women. You're really insulting the word mother. Is there any mother like you? Ye even broke down and cried. I've called you mom for so many years, and you deliberately hurt me. You have so much money, yet you want to force me to death for this little money. How can there be such a filthy person like you in the world? The 3 members of the family joined together to criticize me profusely. I couldn't help but applaud their shamelessness. Ye finished venting and suddenly changed the subject. Forget it. I know your feelings for me over the years are not fake. How about this, if you write off this debt and get the company back on track, I can forgive you. I will still call you mom from now on and take care of you in your old age. Her shamelessness almost made me laugh. I looked coldly at the daughter I had raised for more than 20 years and said bluntly. I need you to take care of me in my old age. I gave you a chance when I handed over the company, but you still chose to betray me with Zhou Yan and Lin Dong. I've just wasted my time and energy over the past 20 years. Besides, if you have some real talent and knowledge, you can find clues by checking the company's accounts. The guests at the scene also echoed. That's right. Ms. Gu has so much money, and there are many people rushing to support her in her old age. Who needs you? Without President Gu, you are nothing. You really think you are a piece of cake? Lin Dong and Zhou Yan wanted to argue with me, but the situation got completely out of control. There was constant news coming from subordinates in the company. All debts are due and our company is going bankrupt. The people who came to ask for money are already blocking the door. Ye, who has been with me for so many years, knows the consequences of bankruptcy liquidation very well. She fell to the ground, holding her head and crying. Lin Dong and Zhou Yan were as panicked as headless flies and had no idea what to do. The scene and the live broadcast room were boiling with excitement. Ginger is always more experienced. Ms. Gu is indeed a strong woman who started from scratch. This time, the ungrateful family is in big trouble. Not only did I get nothing, I also lost the rest of my life. Amidst everyone's discussions, I turned around and left gracefully. Later, I heard that all the properties of the 3 of them were forcibly confiscated. Lin Dong and Zhou Yan have been used to a life of luxury over the years and cannot adapt to the life of a deadbeat at all. Ye couldn't find a job because of her fake academic qualifications, and ended up working as a hostess in a nightclub. The last time I got the news, Ye's face was disfigured because she offended a customer. Lin Dong became addicted to gambling and alcohol and hid from his debts everywhere. As for Zhou Yan, she married a lame old bachelor in order to make a living, and was beaten beyond recognition every day. At this moment, I am on a cruise ship enjoying the sunshine and sea breeze, with several young suitors around me. If you have money and free time, you can still enjoy life even after retirement.